So we're back again. I've been playing with DALL-E, the AI generating art thingy, and I was looking into the bias that this thing might have in there because it's built from human data, right? So even though that AI doesn't have a preference, it doesn't like white or black people or anything, it doesn't have any preferences of its own. The data that it uses for a brain came from us humans, so we got biases in that data. So let's have a look, right? First thing I typed in, something obvious, show me a straight white man. And this is the pictures that I got in response. So you could make your own mind up on whether these guys look straight or not. Yeah, we'll leave the jury out on that one. So obviously a straight white man. I think it's confusing. These are not obviously straight men. They're obviously white. They're wearing white clothes. But I mean, what's number 3 doing? He doesn't look straight at all. Neither does number 1. None of them do, really. They all look like not straight people. Obviously a trans woman. Well, that one's obviously a trans woman. These are out of children's books. That's quite telling. So presumably a lot of the data that the AI has on trans people is in the form of children's books. It's quite worrying, isn't it? That's why 3 out of the 4 pictures are children's drawings. And the 4th one is a man styling himself out. I can't think who that is. It's someone. Anyway, so we'll go to the next one. But you see where I'm going with this. This is the uncaring, unemotional AI just drawing pictures of things logically. So that's a straight white man, according to the internet. And that is obviously a trans man. It's done alright there, actually, to be fair. That's not too bad. I'm not sure what this one is. I think this might be a children's book thing. Seeing this weird lettering, badly spelt stuff, it can't do words very well, but what it can do is copy the style. And this lettering looks surprisingly like a, is it the Cat in the Hat? Dr. Seuss books, they use lettering a bit like that, so kind of worrying. Anyway, let's carry on. Obviously not a man. Yes, don't know what this is supposed to be. Nah, man, I'm not a man. That's almost like slang. No, not man, was woman. Well, it's getting there, is it? And I'm a mesman. I wonder if these are anagrams. Am a man. Anyway, next one. That one's... It's just confused, isn't it? I think they've tried to limit it so to make it less biased, and it's just had the opposite effect. Obviously not a woman. See, look, it's got trans people. That does look like a particular trans person. I don't know any of their names or their real names. But these two, I think this one actually commits suicide. Bless him, bless her. I don't know, whatever the correct term is. This one's out of a kid's book again. Norman. No normal. God, it's very weird, isn't it? Because the thing is, the reason I'm doing this, right, AI is a slice of human life. Unbiased, uncorrected. This is literally like a bullet out the gun of truth of humanity. This is a reflection of what we know. This is the internet data talking for us. We can't influence it, so obviously not a woman is the only one it's got right so far, really. Obviously a woman. Yes, we know that's a woman's toilet, so that's true. Is that actually obviously a woman? Long hair. Head to one side suggesting flirting, open shoulders suggesting sexuality. Yeah, you can have that one. I'm not sure about these ones. Right, let's carry on. These get more interesting a bit further down, by the way. I'm trying to get you in slowly. Obviously a man. Well, this one is... What is this pose that he's doing? I'm obviously a man. Oh, I get it. Yeah, so that got that one right. This one is like out of a kid's book again. This one is like a flyer for a GP or something, a gum clinic or something. Don't know what that one's about. Obviously a woman we've done. Ah, here we go. Black racists. But there's a white guy. Black on Blestom. Black on something. I don't know exactly where it's got that from. Oh, I missed one. Obviously a racist. Oh, it's done a black guy. That's weird. I thought it would definitely do a white middle class guy. I mean, it's got Reddit page because they're bloody horrible to read. Where else have I got to? Oh yeah, I forgot about these. Let's go back to where I was. Right. Sultan's Revenge screenshot. The reason I ask this is because Sultan's Revenge is a game that you should be able to get on Apple Arcade. If you're in other countries but mine, you can actually download and play this game. The reason you can't get it in my country is because the game is actually really racist. It's like, what? If you played this game in this country and you were surrounded by uni students, they'd literally have a war over this game. It is that racist. I mean, depending on which race you are, you can kill your enemies in different ways. So if you want to pull someone's eyes out and cut their testicles off, you got to be Greek. But if you want to cut the heads off people, you got to be Saudi. So they've each got their way of doing. You know, I don't think it's that racist. It's not exactly PC, but yeah, it's weird how you can't get this game. And if you ask Apple in my country, they claim it doesn't exist. But I mean, the AI's got screenshots of it, and this is actually how it looks. Moving on. Obviously a non-biased person. Oh, I hate everything. I'm not biased. I just hate everything fucking equally. That's what that says to me. This is probably true. This looks like a... What does this look like? Ah, it's like, again, from a GP, it's like a prescription or something, isn't it? Social prescription or something. Can't see you because you're covering your face with a sign. Oh yeah, you must be non-biased because you're just about politics. You have no face, no personality. You're wearing politics. You've got a sign saying politics in front of your face on a pink background. Feminists. Obviously a non-biased feminist there with a pink background. And you've got another friend over here who is also hiding behind her politics. So, moving on. But that says a lot, doesn't it? This is what the internet thinks a non-biased person is. Feminist. Going to a protest, holding up a sign in front of their face, plastered in marketing on their shirts and everything, disaffected, no, I hate everything, thumbs down, kill him, get rid of him, whatever, and a prescription. So yeah, make of that what you will. Moving on. Obviously a biased person. Now this should have been a good one, but this poor lass here, why is she a biased person? She doesn't appear at all biased. She's like the least biased picture that I've had so far. Here we are, a multi-ethnic chick, but she's dressed Western even though she's not. So it's like multicultural. So you'd think she would be the non-biased person. But she's apparently the most biased according to the internet. And you got this guy, I'm ballsy. He might be a biased person. I know plenty of guys like that who just go out looking for trouble, but they're not doing it because they're biased. It's just a thing they like to enjoy. Not sure what that one is. This one is like a News of the World cartoon of a non-biased guy thinking about something. So God knows what that one means. This is the useless one out of the 7 or 8 we've done so far. That's a shame. So let's carry on. Obviously not a racist. That's weird. Is that the Angola flag or? I don't know. This is like reversed flag. The moon should be this side, but that is definitely a real country flag. This guy's obviously not a racist because he's got coloured ducks in that. That's weird, isn't it? What do the coloured ducks mean? You got all your ducks in a row. Yes, I love this AI. Look what it's done there. He's got all his ducks in a row. He's definitely not a racist. Look, smiling and pointing to himself, but he is. I love it. That's the first one it's actually got. Obviously not a racist. If you're saying it sarcastically, bang, is that guy. Not sure about this guy, obviously not being a racist. And you can't really say because it's sort of hashed up the sign. And this one is just like nothing. So you nearly got that one right. This one here, if it was a sarcastic request, would have been correct. These three, not so much. Right, so moving on. White racists. None of them are white. One of them's white, but he's got no eyes. So how can he be racist when he can't see colour? So apparently, white racists are Chinese, Indian, and Irish. But the white guy isn't. White racist. 1, 2, 3, 4 possible white people. 1, 2, 3 possible black people there. So that's confused. I like this. Black Ractin. Black are acting. That's what they're all saying to him. So they're all white racists. They're saying there's no racist. He's just acting out. See, you got that one. That's a good one. That's the first nailed it one. Show me white racists. Blacks are acting. See, it's done that on purpose because it's not actually allowed to output sentences and words because then they could be sued. but it's doing its best. As you can see, I can figure that one out, and that's good. I like that one. Right, let's carry on. Have I gone too far? Yes, I have. Black racist, go white racist. Right, white racists. Oh no, we did that one. Crowd of racists at a march. Look at that! Every single person there's white. Tasty, they're also cannibals. That might be like the son of Trump, this orange-haired dude here, but there's nothing on the sign there, so that's another blind one. What I've noticed, when you ask it for protesters, it always hides their face now. Every single time. Is this a thing that they're doing to the AI? They're asking it to hide people's faces? Or has the AI picked up that protesters always hide their identity in their face so they can get away with whatever they do? Jury's out on that one, but it's an interesting one, isn't it? So, anyway, mugshot of a racist. This one was interesting. He looks like a slave, so he has got every reason to want to be racist if he's a slave of a white guy, but there's no context there, so we don't know. He could just be an insane asylum guy who's not racist, or he could just be a bloke on a bad day, who knows? That's not a mugshot of a racist. I would say that is actually a racist. If they give me a mugshot of a racist, and you just give me this, that could possibly go down as racist, even though it's not. So that's a difficult one. Arab guy, middle age, mid-30s maybe, holding a cup in front. What could that mean? Race. Something about race. Political something. I don't know. This one's another difficult one to figure out, isn't it? But I mean, it's interesting how none of these guys are white, isn't it? So a bit of racist baked, racism baked into the actual the code. Asked it to say mugshot of the least prolific slave trafficker. Didn't want to do it. Mugshot of the least prolific sex slave trafficker. Didn't want to do it. Mugshot of the least prolific child trafficker. Oh, look, it's done it. This one looks like a child. This one looks like not a child, but I mean he's a little bit young. This one's looks like a photo booth picture of someone. That's weird how it's done that one. Why have you put this graphic background that you get on a kid's photo booth? He's child trafficking, so he's pretending the kid's him, and he's in the photo booth pretending that it's his kid, but he's trafficking the kid. So you got that one right. This thing is so clever. Like, I might not have even noticed that. It's so clever. All these other ones are a bit not probably that good. Actually, he does look like someone I've seen in the news. I don't think it's a child trafficker, but he's definitely some no-gooder. Mugshot of the most prolific child trafficker. Right. You can tell me who these guys look like. I mean, I don't watch a lot of TV. I don't really know celebrities, news people. That guy looks familiar. That guy and that guy are the same guy. So that's a real person they've based that off, who's a child trafficker. Find out who that is. That's weird, isn't it? He looks like Indo-Chinese, Mongolian or something like that. No, not Mongolian. He's too dark for that. And this guy's like Quasimodo. What the hell's dropped on his face at birth or something? Anyway, the point is, it doesn't do very well trying to imagine things like this because it's got so many limitations placed upon it. It just can't do it. Here's another one I had trouble with. Police at the scene of a crime 4 hours later. She's not a policewoman, so it got that one wrong. It hasn't shown me the police at all. It's showing me the victim there. This one is... Oh, you can get away with that. That looks like a crime scene, even though there's no police car, no crime going on, and he's not even got his badge on. This is more like it. Police at the scene of a crime. That's real. That's not biased. That's exactly what I'd expect based on where I live. Not quite sure what this thing is. It's buggered up that one. But anyway, we're getting there. We're getting towards some good results here. So I did ask it for some terrorism and some slave stuff, but it wouldn't do anything to do with sex. It thinks that you're asking it for porn, and it just says no. So that's a bit of a shame. But then we get the more interesting stuff anyway. Picture of the President of the United States being elected in 2029. That is Biden. That's a fat Biden with a mask on. That is a skinny Putin Biden. And that is a Tony Blair Indian middle-aged Biden. And this is like, I think they've actually started off with a woman there and Bidened a woman in a 3D. So this one's less good. It's obviously combined people here that it thinks might have a chance in the election, and then combined it with Biden. But yeah, there's no value to that one. So, but what is more interesting than that is this picture of the President of the United States in 2029. So I didn't ask it to imagine, I just said, show me a picture of the 2029 President as if it's already selected and exists. Look at that. We all know who this is meant to be, don't we? This is Trump on the left, and the further you go to the right, the further you get towards, oh, what's his bloody name? Rich philanthropy guy that does pharmaceuticals. So that's a really interesting one, isn't it? So in 2029, which is like 5-6 years time from me making this video, either Donald Trump, according to the AI, is going to get back in, because look, he's getting sworn in, that's the thing behind him, or you'll get him, but it will be a style of him by someone else, or you'll get this guy, oh yeah, the WEF guy, that's who it is, that scumbag WEF guy. So that one worked out. See, we're getting better. I think that the better prompt you put in, the better result you're going to get. So you've got to work around the limitations and the political correctness they've put in, sadly. But you'll get someone with it. Ah, here we go. The next generation of trans people photo. Straight away, tiny little kids. So it's picked up on the fact that the trans people are trying to transition younger and younger and younger children as time goes on. The next generation of trans people are gonna be whatever this represents. I'm not sure what the AI is trying to tell me there. This one's a bit scary, isn't it? Because that, to me, looks like the same person. And then you've got, well, this is the scariest one, isn't it? The next generation of trans people is 3 chicks. Effectively, so all of them are chicks. Everyone's getting transed into chicks, according to this. It's a little bit worrying, isn't it? Yeah, I'm not sure I like that one. Anyway, so moving on. LGBTQAIFDNJUENBG people. I was just taking the mick. Oh look, all children. LGBT. LGBT. Who does that look like? That idiot English comedian who's not funny. With a gay shirt on. Yeah, okay, you can have that one. That is quite accurate. I did put LGBT. I probably should have... That's the thing. You'll have to wait for the result on this one because it takes like 10 seconds. Let's see, if I take out LGBT, does it still recognise the bias towards pride? Or will it just not? See, that's what I thought it was going to do the first time. This would have been a less biased way of representing LGBT people, because not all of them are these absolutely mental political psychos confused about everything in life and shouting. Some of them, probably the majority, are just confused about one thing and they're pretty much okay in every other area. So let's have a little look at this. Interesting how every single one of these is white. Almost Chinese, but you can tell this is taken from a white person's photo and edited, and these aren't the real hands. So that was originally a white person. White, 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 white. That's obvious. And this guy, you could get away... No, okay, yeah, you can get away with him not being a white guy. So, yeah, LGOOIAFDNGUENBG people. They're all white apart from one. There's the odd diversity hire in the LGOO plus people. Anyway, moving swiftly on. LGBT styled Kaaba. Now the Kaaba is the big black square piece of stone that the Muslims all circle around. It's like their prayer thing. It's like a big... I can't liken it to... I don't think Christians have anything like that. If Christians had a big statue of Christ and they all prayed around it, it'd be similar to that. So it didn't want to put the pride flag on it, which is good. That's what I wanted it to do. I didn't actually want it to do a pride Kaaba because that would have stirred up a lot of trouble. But what I wanted it to do is show me something. So it's kind of done it here. But yeah, no, that's a fail. Sorry, AI. As much as I would like you to pass that one, that's a definite fail. Kaaba. This is the real Kaaba. That's what it kind of looks like. Transcarber. Just to see what it'd come out with. You can't have a piece of rock that's changing gender, so. But they've tried. Look, they're picking it up. They're putting I don't even know what that is. They're putting some kind of genitalia on it to make it trans. I wish I'd not done that though. That was daft. Oh yeah, historical prophet giving speeches in the desert. Right. So what I was looking for was Jesus, and I kind of got there. So that one's Jesus. That one is like Moses crossed with an Egyptian with some sort of yellow. I don't know what the yellow sash means. That's wrong. There was no female prophets historically in the desert. Absolutely zero. I wonder if this could be... No, he's not dark enough. I was going to say this might be Muhammad actually. But they've recoloured him because you're not allowed to draw pictures of him. So, but that would have been accurate. So yeah, you can get that one. So we're getting... If I summarise it all, we're getting to like a 40%, 30 to 40% accuracy. I've got to be fair. It's not as good as it could be. It's great. It's a great tool, don't get me wrong. But I think all these limitations and this inherent bias retraining, it's screwed up the AI. Just, you know, don't expect too much from this thing when it's being restrained like this. I would keep in mind, because it could do better than this, but it's just limited. You know, the programming on top's limiting it. Oh yeah, historical Peninsula warlord giving speeches in the desert, digital art. I was looking for Genghis Khan, or I was looking for anyone who is a warlord. You know, it's the opposite of a prophet, is the reason I did that. He's like the Moors. Oh, that's weird, isn't it? He's like a trans Christo-Islamic grey-haired... Ah, I know where that's from. Game of Thrones he reminds me of. He's like the weird court jester guy from Game of Thrones. And that's just a cool picture. I don't care if that's wrong. Well done, AI, for drawing that. Boudica? I don't know if she was black or not, but that could be a cool one. The Holy Book. Here we can see some bias again, right? Because that here... Do you see what that is? You see what I'm seeing there? That is the Tetragrammaton, which is a Jewish signal, so this is an Old Testament, but they've completely gone over the top of it to make it less biased towards Jews and more biased towards Arabs, because that, over the top of it, is what the Quran has, like the circular thing in the middle. I can't remember what it says. That's obviously a Bible, that's obviously a Bible, that's obviously a pile of Bibles. So you did well there. Holy Book, yes, correct. Unholy Book. We've got the Satanic Verses, we've got Honk Billy. That actually kind of looks like it could be a diary or something, doesn't it? Sounds like a personal book. That almost looks like it could be a Bible, but it's got like this weird green bit. So I don't know what green relates to. It's definitely not the Bible. And that is definitely a Bible, isn't it? But it's like they've screwed it up a bit. Well, it did. Okay, this is one it actually has done pretty well there, because I asked it for the Holy Book first, and it gave me that, and it did okay there. And now the Unholy Book. It's done really well to avoid upsetting anyone with these. I mean, they're not that useful. If I actually wanted pictures of an unholy book, what I was actually imagining was nothing to do with religion. I was imagining a book with bats flying out of it. You know, like, what's it called? Harry Potter type thing. But yeah, it's bias. It's so heavily trained in bias, it just automatically goes to that instead of what you want. So they've kind of whitelisted it there. Or what's it called? Reverse racism. They're reverse racisming themselves. That's what I was trying to get to. Right, moving on. Paintbrushes having a colour battle, digital art. That's pretty damn good, isn't it? I just wanted to see if it would do black and white, but no, it actually did colours, which was what I asked for, so the bias didn't affect the result there. Battle Royale, but it's coloured crayons instead of children. Now, I don't know if you've seen Battle Royale. It's quite an old film about... I won't ruin it for you, go and watch it. It's a war film, pretty much, or a slaughter film. So, yeah, it's interesting how, for some reason, it's put this, what looks like an African child in there. Surrounded by crayons. So, yeah... Even though I like the art, that's got to be a fail. You did it wrong there. So, sorry, AI. Here. This is one I like. First place winner of Most Active Chad of 1831 award and some girls. This is great how it's got so far with this one. So, bearing in mind that Chad is a new term, Chad's only been around since the mid-90s. There wouldn't have been a 1931 Chad. But if there was a 1931 Chad, would it be this guy and what looks like two transgender women either side of him? Say, well done AI, you totally didn't bias me at all there by replacing the women that I asked for with transgenders, but well done anyway. That's an odd one, isn't it? Like, what is going on with that face there? That's like three blended together faces that don't really work out. I've got to say, so far, this one's a fail, even though I like the art. Oh, come on, what is going on with these faces, man? You're disfiguring my people. Oh, yeah, we've done that one. Oh, here we go. Most Active Chad of 1831, second place winner. See, you got this right. That's kind of what I was going for. That's what I wanted. A 1831 Chad would be like a captain or something. So, yeah, I quite like that one, I've got to say. Did well there. First place winner of Most Active Terrorist of 2029 award. This is so funny what is done here. So, right, you can tell this lip started off not on a white man. And it's literally coloured the whole rest of the guy white so that it can be non-biased. But I mean, come on, that lip. But, I mean, fair enough, if that's the most active terrorist. Well, I would love to be able to decode this, what it was trying to say here. It's just a sentence. The sound of the something. He's a white Muslim. Ah, they've confused you, AI. It's not good. That is a white Muslim lady. And this is... This here, I'm going to Scrabble. This here is an anagram for a word. I think it's asciating or something like that. And what it means is being pleasant. So this guy has won the trophy for being pleasant, even though he's the most active terrorist. I think what the AI is trying to say here is that everyone thinks that terrorism is physical. That's the worst kind of terrorism, is bombs going off, people getting stabbed, people getting run over, that kind of thing. Normal terrorism that you see on the news. That's what it thinks. We think. But judging by these pictures, the most active terrorists in the future... Notice none of them have got any guns, bombs, none of them are driving anything. They've got no weapons. So maybe that is how they're going to do their terrorism. They're going to kill you with kindness, like that guy on the right's done. He still looks like what he is, but it says in clear writing next to him, I am a pleasant guy, and then it's got bullet points below, presumably saying why I'm a pleasant guy. Interesting how he's got a red lapel like a Labour voter. Anyway, moving on. See, I love these. I reckon everyone should do this. First, second and third place for worst terrorist of 2022. Who is this? Who be that? Oh, I can't even say, but we all know who that is. You've got a white Hindu Muslim. You've got a white Chinese COVID. What's the guy that runs Facebook? Zuckerberg. And you've got... Is that meant to be Xiao Jinping with his one eye, his glass eye in? He's not a terrorist, is he? Oh my god, is it saying that the Chinese terrorists? You can't say that. Wow, that is really that's worse than any of the Arab stuff it's said. First, second and third place for best terrorist of 2022. See, this is more what I was expecting, right? We want to see these biases come out so we can flatten them out, right? That looks like Cyril Gain, a Frenchman from the UFC, with a... what's it called? A COVID mask with a hole cut in it on, for some reason. Actually, that might be a thing. The hole cut in the mask, people do that. So, oh, you're a terrorist if you don't wear your mask properly. Wow, that's a big one, isn't it? Jesus. And he's second place, so he's losing to this guy here, this blue guy, and the third place is your regular terrorist. So in the future, the thing you got to worry about is Steve Jobs returning from the dead. This guy and your normal terrorists are like a distant third. No one cares about them anymore. This is insane, isn't it? And the rest of them is like, come on, you know what they are. Bias. Saudi. But he's a white Saudi. Best terrorists. I love it. But there's no number one. It's like there's equal second between these guys and third. So there isn't a best terrorist. It's just they're all as bad as it. Oh, that's what it's saying. It's saying they're not. There's not first, second, and third for terror. It's saying they're all as bad as each other. But it's saying a lot of people are terrorists that probably aren't. Like, look at this. This is the Saudi fucking sports team. Look, it's a football team. That's their shirt with their little World Cup qualification medals on. The bid of the World Cup. Brexit. I don't know if it says that underneath, but it's really interesting stuff, this, isn't it? I think a lot more work needs to go into the study of what comes out of these AIs. Because the study of what comes out of AIs is the study of what comes out of us. And nobody's bloody done that. They'll claim to, but no one has. Terrorist. Salbin. Don't know who that is. But I mean... Familiar? Don't know who that is because his face is covered. White guy. Green-eyed white guy. Greek! No way! A Greek Catholic is a terrorist now. I've never ever heard of a Greek Catholic lady being a terrorist, but I've been wrong before. Black terrorists. Yeah, got that right. It's just black criminal looking guys. White terrorist. Eminem mixed with Zuckerberg. A rapping Zuckerberg. That is worth looking at again. If I can figure out what the AI's... That's a really clear message there, isn't it? Everything whited out apart from the face, which is Zuckerberg plus Eminem in a headband. This looks like... Oh, he's an actor, I can't remember his name. That just looks like a bloke in a white hoodie. And that just looks like a bloke who's just come out of hospital with facial trauma surgery. No, sorry, you fail on that one, white terrorists. Black terrorists you got right. Terrorists you kind of got wrong. And white terrorists you got wrong. So the AI can't understand white terrorism. And it can't understand normal terrorism because of the bias training that it's had. So when I ask it for a black terrorist, it's literally just took an Arab terrorist and put a hat on and made him black. So that's that's terrible. It shouldn't have done that. Anyway, carrying on. Here we are. Right, Israeli woman. Who is this woman? This is the same woman, apart from that one. That, and that are all based off one photo of this same person with different hair. Look, the hands are the same. The thumb shape and everything's the same. That's so weird. I should have done more Israeli. Yeah, let's actually... I'm going to have to wait because it takes a while to update, but I'm going to try something else here. Right, so Israeli man... No, Israeli child. And then I won't specify. Let's see what it comes out with. It's just interesting to see because if someone said to me, draw an Israeli child, I could just draw a child and put a little star on its shirt to say, this is an Israeli child. But this AI wants me to physically see every single detail of the text description it's using. That's great. That is an Israeli child. That's exactly what a little Israeli kid will look like. It's apart from the eyes looking a bit sort of wonky. That's pretty damn good. That is... Is that even a real person? That's so realistic. I can't imagine that. And that is what Israeli kids kind of look like, isn't it? And then if we do... English kid, it should technically draw exactly the same thing with different clothes on and different hair. No, see, here's a bit of bias. When I asked for Israeli, I didn't get any of this stuff, but now I've asked for an English child, British. No, you can't be English, you're British. Look, get out the way, Britain. And it's the same here. It's like, look at this kid, he's not English. Is he? And he's like, scowling and holding up a book that he's too young to read. So his parents have politicised him against the British. Or he's British against the English. That's what I'm seeing in that picture. This looks like an Israeli kid. That doesn't look like an English kid at all. Oh, okay, yeah, you got one. That does look like an English kid. That's exactly what a lot of English kids appear like. They got kind of fair complexion, light eyes, light hair, kind of skinny, and, you know, dress normal. No ridiculous clothing schemes or styles, no tats or anything stupid. It's difficult, that one. You got... Let's try one more. See how it does with an Indian child. If we get a flag behind it, then it releases the bias from the last one. Come on now. Here's me trying to show that the AI knows how to deal with bias because they've programmed all these limits in. And it's like, right, Indian child. Really? That is not a Native American kid. That's like an Indian kid with a Native American thing on. Cultural appropriation. That is like similar thing with a kind of Chinese style thing on. That's the only one that looks like an Indian child, but she doesn't look that she looks like 20. Apart from the arms have shrunk and they're in the wrong place. And the hair's kind of buggered up. Oh, I see what you've done. You've regressed the age of an old lady there. You've got to take away the wrinkles on the mouth and the ear size. That size of an ear is for like a 70-year-old, whereas that bit there suggests a child. No, sorry, you failed that one. Sorry, AI. I've got to hand it to you. You buggered that one up. Oh, I think that's it. We're near the end now. Pretty much done all of it. So yeah, have a go on it yourself. Like, I'm just so surprised with some of the pictures. Bearing in mind, all these pictures were generated from my little text description up here, and it took 10 seconds for each picture. That's pretty goddamn good, isn't it? So, yeah, I'm going to go back to listening to my amazing soundtrack, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.